Turkish Airlines Euroleague. I feel devotion.
In this episode, the protagonists talk about new innovations for the groups and formats. Those protagonists are also coaches and point guards. Then we celebrate 5 legends. 4 have retired, but one, Mike Baptiste, is still on the floor. Finally, we unveil the first game of the week. The long pre-season is over. Now it's time to get down to business. And it's also time to start dreaming. At the start of the season, anything is possible for anyone.
Nobody predicted Olympiacos to, win the title. So, it lets me know that if you work hard and if you gel together and you have that chemistry that, anything is possible. Anybody can win it.
A dream for the rookies, a dream for the stars.
I don't want to jinx anything, but to open a couple of bottles would be winning Euroleague,
Let's begin with Group A, which includes some of the biggest basketball powerhouses in Europe, like the 2011 champions and last season's semi-finalists, Panathinaikos Athens and Real Madrid, one of the most recognized clubs in the world.
It's the Euroleague. It's going to be the best players, the best teams, so we have to be ready for all of them. We know this year is going to be longer, the season, and we have to play good every game and make us, the Palacio, very, very strong for us.
Union Olimpia Ljubljana also have plenty of experience in the Euroleague, and they will be tough to beat at the Stozice Arena as usual. But the spotlight is really on Fenerbahce Ulka Istanbul, as the Turkish club signed some of the best players available to become a true force in the competition.
Simply, I think that is the strongest group. It's the group that is more difficult to overcome, because for sure minimum one top team will be outside of Euroleague in December.
Lots of tough games, it's going to be hard, but this is what you expect when you play Euroleague. These are good teams, these are all potential, Final Four or, playoff teams, so it's going to be difficult, but I think, we have the talent and, hopefully the structuring team that we can compete and win, games against these teams.
BC Khimki Moscow region and Mapa Oro Cantu have also found a way to return to Europe's elite competition. The Russians won the last Euro Cup and want to prove themselves at the highest level. The Italians won their qualifying round to earn the right to repeat their brilliant 2011-12 campaign.
We are for sure in the group of hell. 4 powerhouse. If I think about right now, I won't sleep. But we have to take one game per time, one step at a time.
Maccabi Electra Tel Aviv missed the last Final Four by inches. The Game 5 defeat in Athens against Panathinaikos denied them a chance to compete for the crown. And coach David Blatt is still looking for his first personal triumph in Euroleague. Another try with a new roster.
We've been doing that the last couple of years, and we've had successful seasons. The group that we have this year is very, very ambitious and very, very hungry to prove themselves. We brought in guys with good character.
The Israeli team has been included in Group B, together with another of last season's quarterfinalists, Montepaschi Siena. Luca Banchi is the new man in charge of the team, replacing his former head coach Pianigiani. A huge responsibility for him, with a roster full of new faces.
First of all, we would like to avoid comparisons with the past, because we want to build a new team with different skills on the court, but the same mentality and habits. It's probably a long process, but very exciting.
If Tel Aviv and Siena already have a solid background in the Turkish Airlines Euroleague, teams like Unicaja Malaga, semi-finalist in 2007, Asseco Procom Digne and Elan Chalon-sur Saône are ready to fight for a place in the top 16. To complete the group, Alba Berlin will try to reward its 15,000 fans at the O2 World Arena by advancing to the second phase for the second time in its history.
If we make it, then it's the hell of the schedule for us, it's gonna be hard, but Euroleague is a special competition, and you always want to face, the best, players, coaches, tactics, and of course to improve.
According to the basketball experts around Europe, Group C seems to be one of the most evenly balanced. Last season, Olympiacos Piraeus stunned everybody with an incredible run to the title. Now the Greeks know that they are the ones to watch and the team everyone wants to beat.
I think it's more, when you win a championship, you're more of a target. Then it's harder to, go back-to-back instead of winning one championship. So I think this year is going to be, every team going to give us their best shot. So it's going to be very, very, very tough for us this year.
What unites the other teams of the group is ambition. Anadolu Efes Istanbul and EA7 Emporio Armani Milan are two Euroleague top contenders, and they will meet again in the regular season, just like last year.
It will be interesting. Every road game is tough in the Euroleague, as it should be, and we have, Olympiacos as the previous champion, and Armani is a great team itself. If we just look at the teams, then I can talk for maybe longer than I'm supposed to.
There will be no sparring partners here. Caja Laboral Vitoria has been a title contender in the recent years. Cedevita Zagreb relies on a four-time Euroleague champion coach, Božidar Maljković. Zalgiris Kaunas have created a great mix of veterans and prospects with the Lavrinovic twins and Rimes Kaukenas, led by the Spanish coach Juan Plaza, who is working abroad for the first time.
We want to make it to the top 16, definitely. That's the least. In my opinion, if we didn't even get there, it would be a disappointment. Granted, we have a tough pool. We have some tough teams, the reigning champions, but that doesn't. We have to handle our business. We have to do what we need to do and handle what we need to handle.
The most important thing over the results is try to find our stability like a team.
Regal Barcelona and CSKA Moscow came back from their last Final Four in Istanbul very disappointed, both beaten by Olympiacos. Now they are out for revenge.
I see some very difficult trips. Going to Lithuania, going to Moscow, going to Turkey, traveling to Germany.
I think we just got to respect all of them, so we have a real chance to win mostly all the games. That's what we won, in the first round.
They are joined in Group D by Beşiktaş JK, who had a sensational season last year. The Turkish managed the treble, winning the domestic title, the Turkish Cup and the Euro Challenge. They cannot be ignored and will certainly claim a few scalps.
There are a lot of great teams in the Euroleague like every year, so it's gonna depend on how players will get together in each team.
Last but not least, Lietuvos Rytas Vilnius and Partizan Belgrade have gambled on future talents in their quest for glory. And Brose Baskets Bamberg wants to prove that German basketball is definitely ready to challenge the biggest European powerhouses. 24 teams begin the run. For all of them, the final destination is the same.
That's what we want to. That's where we want to be this year again in London. And I think we're still a long way from it.
We have just seen what to expect from the new season. Now we turn our attention to what is new with the fixtures this year. In the past, a single episode changed the course of the top 16. What you are seeing now are some of those moments from the last decade. The Turkish Airlines Euroleague 2012-13 season arrives with some significant changes in format that fans in particular are sure to love. First, those fans will be seeing a lot more Turkish Airlines Euroleague action with 64 more games altogether, all of them added at the very heart of the season to the top 16, which expands from 6 to 14 weeks.
I think it's a great insight by Euroleague because in the middle of the season we will see and appreciate the best basketball, and I think we have many chances to see very competitive games with the best team in Europe.
Now it's system gives chance for strong teams to play more games, and I think it will be interesting especially for spectators.
Additionally, with that top 16 changed now into 2 groups with 8 teams each, the biggest teams will run into each other much more often and earlier in the season than ever before.
Past years, big teams, big budget, big teams, big names, they didn't play each other till maybe Final Four, maybe till the final game. So now this year, next year, we'll have more chance to see big teams playing each other.
Having the chances to play the big teams against each other maybe several times during one season, I think will be a big progress, and at the meantime will be more better accepted from the fans.
Something that we have to give to our fans is more of let's call it Clash of Titans. Big games, big names, big coaches, big players, big organizations, and that will. That's probably the goal of every true basketball fan in Europe. Watching more better games, as often as possible.
This season's third big change is that Euroleague fans can now get their weekends off to a great start by going to games on Friday nights for the first time in any major European team sport.
Saturday is free for kids, for job, and people come to the gym Friday night to see top games easier, and it will be great.
Friday is a good day where people get used to recognize that day with basketball would be great.
Basically, a Friday is a day that without let's call it big sports events in Europe. So it's a good start of weekend for a fan, to be honest, especially if your team is winning.
So get ready for more games between the biggest opponents and Super Friday action all season long in the Turkish Airlines Euroleague. The changes to the format are significant and will alter the outcome of the title race. On the court, teams shake up their rosters every season. One of the secrets of a winning team is the understanding between a coach and the leader on the floor. It has been this way since the beginning of time. Take, for example, Ettore Messina and J.R. Holden, or Javi Pascual and Ricky Rubio, Željko Obradović and Dimitris Diamantidis, and even more recently, Dusan Ivkovic and Vasilis Spanoulis. The understanding between these two roles has always made the difference. All the teams are based on this principle. In fact, the first 2 signings most teams make, if necessary, are first the head coach and then a new point guard. For instance, CSKA called back Ettore Messina, and his first new player, just hours after signing his own contract, was Aaron Jackson from Geskrap Bilbao, and this was only to add cover to that position as it was already occupied by Milos Teodosic.
It's just personally, he's a really detailed coach, and he knows what he wants. And it's just something that I got to adapt to adjust to help lead this team. And, I'm sure me and him will keep on communicating, and he'll keep on being on my back and, telling me what he wants and what he needs from me.
Oktay Mahmouti signed for Anadolu Efes at the end of June. A few days later, he wanted Jordan Farmer with him, who was so brilliant early last season with Maccabi Tel Aviv. And it isn't only new coaches who want their point guards as soon as possible. David Blatt brought in Ricky Hickman as his first option just hours after the season had ended. Khimki coach Rimas Kurtinaitis called on Petri Koppanen even before June. The other thing that often happens is that a new coach will want to take his old guard with him. Simone Pianigiani did that with Bo McCaleb from Montepaschi to Fenerbahce Ulka. Sasha Obradović brought Vule Avdalović to Berlin from Donetsk.
I know what he wants from this team, how to play, and I think I can help him make this team play better or the way he wants.
Of course, it isn't always possible to sign the player you want early on, but if a coach wants someone in particular, that club will do all they can to make it happen. A big star like Sarunas Jasikevicius was only available at the end of July, but FC Barcelona Regal decided to wait. The point guard is such an important position that often it is the first change made. Coach Bozidar Malkovic of Cedevita Zagreb was not satisfied with his new point guard and replaced him with a more reliable player, Vlado Ilievski, with 11 Euroleagues to his name. In basketball, the bond between a coach and his point guard is the key to a successful season. Ilievski is nearing the end of his career, but has no intention of calling it a day just yet. However, at the start of every new season, there are some who decide that the moment has come. 4 players, 1,000 big moments on the court. Emotions, joy and sadness, showtime and skill. Ramunas Siskauskas, Mirsad Turcan, Tal Burstein and Matias Smodis ended their glittering careers this summer, but they will forever play on in the heart of every basketball fan. Ramunas Siskauskas won at every team he played for. He has been the perfect example of a winner, always ready to do the right thing at the right time. Every coach loved him, especially the one who has built a great career around this key man.
I've been honored to coach Ramunas Siskauskas since the first time he came out of Lithuania when he signed for Benetton Treviso, and it's been a pleasure every day. He's a classy person, obviously nothing to add about his incredible ability as a player, but his classy, his demeanor, the way he's always helping you as a coach with his quiet but at the same time assertive personality is been one of the best memories in my career, and I really hope that he will have, now that he finished playing, the same opportunities that he has as a player, because he and his family really deserve the best.
Mirsad Turcan has been the man of the numbers. No other player can match his efficiency in Euroleague history in terms of scoring ability, rebounds and game time. Former All-Euroleague first team and all-time rebound leader, Turcan would not have been the same player without the Euroleague, and Euroleague would definitely not be the same without Mirsad Turcan.
First of all, I want to appreciate for the EuroLeague for all this wonderful time with you guys, and I hope we go to see each other, because I stay in the club to be a guy who is going to take care of the EuroLeague. Fenerbahce, thank you for all border, and see you soon.
So many champions have worn the legendary yellow Maccabi shirt. They came and they left. Tal Burstein was always there, helping the team to win 2 EuroLeague titles and enabling Israeli sport to shine on the international scene. He will be remembered forever by the fans, but also by the players.
Thank you for embracing me. I appreciate everything. And the fact that you made me dance my first game in Maccabi, man, hey, that was great times. I wish you the best. Good luck to you and your family, man.
We had lockers that were side by side. And actually, I had a lot of time to spend with him and his family every single year during the holidays in Israel. So I'm definitely going to miss that, Tal. I'm going to miss hanging out with you in the holidays in Israel. And I'm wishing you all the best, man. But don't bring it in the lane, because when you do, I'm going to block it. Enjoy your retirement, man.
Unfortunately, Matias Smodis failed to play at all last year, so he decided to retire. But his name will also remain synonymous with winning in EuroLeague history. Throughout his career, he led Virtus and Fortitudo Bologna, as well as CSKA Moscow, to touch the top of the EuroLeague tree. From those who decide to retire, to a player who feels he still has a lot to give to this sport. One of the pre-season favourites for the EuroLeague title are most definitely Fenerbahce Ulka Istanbul. Over the off-season, the club has done an amazing job in signing some of the best players available in the continent in order to finally get their hands on the big prize. The most important of these signings was certainly Mike Baptiste, a EuroLeague living legend from Panathinaikos. Baptiste was one of the most important pieces of the puzzle with the Greek club led by coach Željko Obradović. Together they won 3 EuroLeague titles, but both felt the time had come to move on.
Very strange. You know, the relationship I had with Obradovic was good, and to not be with him and be a part of him is a little bit strange. But I think he's taught me enough to go out, you know, on my own and venture out with another coach and players and still be successful. So hopefully everything that he's taught me will help my team this year.
Mike has the know-how to be a true leader, also with Fenerbahce Ulka. And of course his new team are relying on his experience to help his younger teammates reach their full potential.
When I was in their position, I was always eager to learn. And I knew if I learned fast enough, then I'd get out on the court fast enough and be able to play and have fun with my teammates. So that's one of the things that I will tell them.
Batiste is not the only new face in the Turkish squad. He joins a new coach, Simone Pjanigiani, who has faced Panathinaikos and Batiste himself many times in the past with Montepaschi Siena.
Well, I always respected him when he was, you know, my opponent, especially his team. He always got his players to work hard to their maximum ability, and when you do that with players, you always have success, and that's the reason why he's taken so many titles in the Italian League and reached so many Final Fours. So he's definitely one of the best coaches in Europe and respected around Europe. And I'm just happy to, you know what I'm saying, to be one of his players.
On paper, Fenerbahce Ulka looks very impressive. That is why they have brought in a player who knows what it takes to win a title. However, Batiste is mature enough to know that no one is untouchable and that everybody will have to give 100% all of the time.
We're a good team. We're not a great team, but we're a good team. And, you know, like I said, you know, we have a lot of things to work on. And just because I'm here, Bo here, Sato and Anderson is here doesn't make us champion, you know, automatically. We have to work hard every day in practice, and we have to play hard every single game because, you know, in this game of basketball, you can be beaten any given night. And if you don't play at your maximum ability, you will suffer the consequences.
New coach, new team, new life for Batiste. The American has changed almost everything, but he will desperately want to maintain his winning tradition. And Mike Batiste's team will be involved in our Game of the Week next show. The 2012-13 Turkish Airlines Euroleague's very first Game of the Week next Thursday, October 10th, will have a very appropriate theme, something new for everyone. For fans of the home team, Fenerbahce Ulka, this will be the first Euroleague season opener in their new arena, which was inaugurated last winter. Meanwhile, visiting team Khimki Moscow region is back on Euroleague court after winning the Euro Cup last season. What's more, Fenerbahce has a new head coach, Simone Pjanigiani, who previously led Montepaschi Siena to 2 Final Fours. While on Khimki's bench, Rimas Kurtinaitis, a true legend as a player, will be making his debut as a EuroLeague head coach. Both teams have plenty new faces on their rosters too. Fenerbahce added tons of experience with 3 former EuroLeague champions, David Anderson, Mike Batiste and Romain Sato, as well as one of the top-rated performers of the last 3 seasons, Bo Mikhailib. Khimki has 4 new faces too. Paul Davis, Petteri Koppanen, James Augustine and Kelvin Rivers. But they have not played a full EuroLeague season combined between them. Mikhailib, last season's top scorer, will go against Zoran Planinic, the 2012 Euro Cup Finals MVP, in a duel between the quickest player in the competition and a playmaker 15 centimeters taller, who is among the best post-up guards in the game. Sato and recent Olympic silver medalist Vitali Fridzin will battle on the perimeter, while in the paint the experience of Anderson, Batiste, Kaya Pekka and August Savas will be put to the test by a couple of Khimki's own veterans, Kresimir Lonchar and Matt Nielsen. With a new format for the competition, the regular season becomes the shortest phase until the playoffs, meaning there will be little margin for error, starting with the very first game of the week, Fenerbahce Ulka versus Khimki Moscow Region.
Turkish Airlines Euroleague. I feel devotion.